Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this uproarious theatrical spectacle where we unleash the power of laughter upon the world's grand stage. Tonight, we dive into the comedic depths of human existence, proving that Shakespeare was right, all the world is a stage, and we're the clowns making it a hilarious show. From the moment we take our first breath, we're cast in the most peculiar audition of all life itself. We perform on this grand stage, seeking validation and approval from the audience, hoping we nail the role of a lifetime without tripping over our own comedic timing. Imagine this: you enter the world with a loud cry, and the nurse immediately holds up a scorecard, giving your first performance a solid 6.5 out of 10. From that moment on, it's a whirlwind of auditions. You crawl, walk, and eventually talk your way through childhood, desperately trying to impress the ever-watchful audience of parents, relatives, and random strangers at the supermarket. You stumble through school plays, attempting to remember your lines while secretly praying you don't wet your pants in front of all. And just when you think you've nailed the role of adulthood, you realize you're still tripping over your own comedic timing, like a clumsy mime in a minefield. But hey, that life's peculiar audition, where we strive for validation, hoping the audience gives us a standing ovation for simply being ourselves, awkward, imperfect, and hilariously endearing. And what about the masks we wear? Like actors adorning different masks for their performances, we, too, wear masks to navigate the world. We have our public personas, private selves, and the multitude of characters we become to fit into various social settings. Life becomes a masquerade ball, where we reveal and conceal with comedic finesse. In this grand masquerade of life, we wear more masks than a Halloween store in October. We're like undercover agents, blending into different social scenes with the stealth of a ninja and the comedic timing of a stand-up comedian. In the monotony of our everyday routines, we inadvertently find ourselves playing the most amusing characters. From the dramatic sighs when the alarm clock goes off to the frantic search for matching socks, we transform our mundane lives into an unintentional comedy. Ah, the daily routine, where the mundane becomes a one-act play. I find myself engaged in an intense battle with my snooze button, hitting it with the passion of a knight jousting for honor. And let us not forget the epic quest to find matching socks. Every day feels like a surprise episode of the Sock Mismatch Chronicles, where my feet become unwitting participants in a comedy of fashion errors. And when it's time to locate my keys, it's a comedic scavenger hunt that always ends with me finding them in the most absurd place, like the fridge or my shoe. Our jobs become a theater of their own, where we play the roles of dedicated professionals by day and desperate comedians by night. From office politics to coffee machine dramas, we perform our daily routines with a touch of humor, secretly longing for an encore on a tropical beach. At work, we're the unsung heroes of the tragicomedy stage. From the morning commute filled with epic battles against rush hour traffic to the comical game of avoiding the office know-it-all during lunch breaks, we give award-worthy performances. But deep down, behind our professional facades, we harbor secret fantasies of escaping the daily drama for a sun-soaked paradise, where our only role is to sip colorful drinks with tiny umbrellas. Society's rules and social norms often feel like a rigid script we're all trying to follow, but somehow managing to trip over. The absurdity of etiquette, where we stumble through the invisible landmines of social norms. It's like a never-ending game of guess the fork at fancy dinners, where each course presents a new opportunity to embarrass ourselves with incorrect utensil choices. And don't even get me started on the enigma of when it's acceptable to use LOL in a text message. It's a linguistic riddle that could rival the mysteries of the universe. It's a comedy of errors, where we end up using the soup spoon for dessert and accidentally sending LOL to our boss instead of our best friend. We attempt to decode the unspoken rules, like deciphering a cryptic code, only to realize we've been using the wrong password all along. Whether it's the proper way to hold a teacup or the minefield of emojis in digital conversations, we're all just trying to avoid the comedic pratfalls and maintain a modicum of social grace. They say that politeness is a dying art, but in reality, it's a comedic performance we all reluctantly participate in. We're the actors in this grand charade of social etiquette, balancing on the tightrope of propriety and absurdity. It's a never-ending spectacle of choosing the right words, executing the perfect handshake, and mastering the art of small talk, all while secretly yearning for a society where LOL is universally accepted as a formal greeting. Love and relationships are the heart of this grand theatrical production we call life. We juggle multiple roles, lovers, partners, friends, each scene playing out with its own twists and turns. We're the stars of our own romantic comedies, hoping for a standing ovation in the end. We stumble through meet cuties that are more like meet clumsy, fumble through awkward first dates with the grace of baby giraffes, and attempt grand gestures of love that often end up being more hilarious than heartwarming. We stumble through scenes of mistaken identities, misinterpreted text messages, and laughable attempts at romantic gestures. We stumble through the awkward dance of dating, delivering punchlines that make our hearts skip a beat, and embrace the laughter that comes with the realization that love is both the director and the punchline of this grand romantic comedy. Sometimes, when we're alone in the spotlight of our thoughts, we embark on existential soliloquies that would make even Hamlet envious. We question our purpose, ponder the meaning of life, and ultimately come to the conclusion that it's all just one big cosmic joke. We question our existence, ponder the mysteries of the universe, and come to the hilariously profound realization that the meaning of life is probably hidden in the depths of a half-eaten bag of chips or a mischievous squirrel playing hide and seek in our backyard. And so, as the final act draws near, we revel in the understanding that life is the ultimate comedy show. As the curtains slowly fall on the stage of life, let us make sure the grand finale is one for comedic history books. We've stumbled through our lines, forgotten our cues, and occasionally stepped on each other's punchlines. But that's what makes this show unforgettable. So, let us embrace the laughter, soak in the applause, and exit with a comedic mic drop, leaving the audience in stitches and reminding ourselves that we are the true masters of this grand comedy production. Yes, the world truly is our stage. Bye!